Welcome to CFAM at Home. For today's lesson, we will be creating cuneiform narratives inspired by some cuneiform tablets from circa 2350 BCE from our collection. For this project, you will need some air drying clay, a cuticle stick, and a printout of cuneiform alphabet and image symbols. You can find a downloadable cuneiform alphabet and symbols through our website linked below in the description. Or feel free to use the internet to find your own. Alternatively, you can develop your own alphabet or system of symbols. Before we get started, let's take a closer look at our chosen artwork and the ideas behind its inspiration. Cuneiform was developed by ancient Sumerians in Mesopotamia. It was a writing system that used a pointed reed stylus to cut a series of wedge-shaped marks into damp clay tablets. This ancient method of writing evolved from pictographs, which were images used to communicate words, into the more popular and efficient wedge-shaped marking system. By around 3000 BCE, pictographs had been almost entirely replaced by this later wedge style. It was similar to early examples of modern language that began with the alphabet script because it used word concept constructions based on phonetic sounds. Cuneiform was used by administrators and temple officials for accounting, logging sales and purchases, and inventorying such things as records of grain, sheep, and cattle. Most of the early tablets came from Uruk in southern Mesopotamia, now the southern region of modern-day Iraq. Later, cuneiform evolved to record historical accounts, such as identifying the names of kings. It was also used in the legal system to maintain court activities and announcements of ownership. As the system became more advanced, it was used to tell stories, like the Epic of Gilgamesh. This was an important poem from ancient Mesopotamia and among the earliest known written works of literature in the world. It follows the character of Gilgamesh, the legendary ruler of Uruk, and his adventures in search of immortality. The story also tells the Mesopotamian version of the biblical Great Flood, which occurs earlier than the Book of Genesis. In its 3,000-year-old history, cuneiform was not only written in Sumerian, but also 15 other languages, including Akkadian and Babylonian. The example we see here from the museum's collection uses the later wedge writing approach, as it was created in Uruk sometime between 2350 and 2000 BCE. For today's craft, we will be making our own story using cuneiform. Like the Sumerians, you can use a cuneiform to write a historical narrative, a record of objects in your house, or a story you create all your own. Use the alphabet and symbols provided on our website, linked in the description below, or develop your own cuneiform alphabet and system of symbols inspired by the ones provided. The information recorded on these ancient tablets have helped us to better understand civilizations long gone. As you decide on your narrative, think about the fact that we are now reading the words written by people thousands of years in the past. What kind of details would you want to share with people thousands of years in the future? If you are developing your own writing system, how would you help them understand your language? While you're planning and writing your story, put away your clay to prevent it from drying out. Grab your alphabet and list of symbols and come up with your narrative. I will be creating my own story about a man who wished to be king and makes a wish and goes on a dangerous journey in order to fulfill his destiny. Before you start writing, draw an outline the size of your tablet to make sure you have enough room. Now we're ready to mold our clay. Pull it out of your bag and knead it in order to soften it up. I'm going to make mine into a bit of a square, but you can do a round shape, a square shape, or anything you want. As you press and flatten your tablet, use your fingers to smooth out all the bumps and the cracks in the clay. You'll want to keep it smooth on both the front and back so that when we're done with our story, we can sign the back with our name. Take your stylus and, using the angled back, press down into your clay. I find that working in sections is easier than sliding it across to make lines. If you don't have a stylus, using a sharpened pencil will work just as well. The pointed side of the stylus is useful in pushing down large sections. Once you've completed your story, turn over your tablet and write out your name just like we did before. Once you have all your symbols together, take your stylus and carve your name into the back of the tablet. Now you're ready to share your story with your friends and family. Thank you for joining us for CFAMily Saturday. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell to find out when the next video is loaded.